It's a little after 6:30 in the morning, and I'm standing here outside of MIT's probably most famous building, the Big Dome and Lobby 10. In this video, I'm going to share how I got into MIT, as well as some thoughts on what I would do differently if I were to apply again today. And this will be a combination of perspectives from academic officials, athletic coaches, and the hundreds of students I've talked to over the years. The first perspective that I have for you today is around test scores and grades, everyone's favorites. But there is good news, and the good news is you don't actually have to be perfect. And I'm a testament to that, as you'll see when I share my scores here in a second. That being said, I would still try to remain within the general range of what MIT is looking for. So directly from their website, here's what they say. The middle 50% of students range between a 780 to an 800 on the SAT math score, between a 740 and 780 on the reading and writing score, and then the ACT, they range between a 34 and 36 on most of the subcategories. Though MIT doesn't call out GPAs on their admissions statistics website, I would say the higher your GPA is, obviously the stronger your application. The last thing that I'll call out around GPAs or grades is the difficulty of your course load. So the idea here is you want to try to take as many of the more difficult classes as you can that your school offers. And now for the juicy stuff. My scores. So hopefully this is a testament or inspiration to you that you don't have to be perfect to get into MIT. So here we go. For SAT math, I got a 770. For SAT reading and writing, I got a 750. I did, however, get a 4.0 GPA and I was valedictorian, but I did go to a very small high school. For AP classes, I actually only took 2 AP classes. I took AP Bio and AP Calc. Those are the only 2 that my school offered. And I also didn't get 5s on them. I actually got 2 4s on each of those exams. So as you can see here, I was actually near the bottom of what MIT typically accepts, including being out of the range for SAT math. And I also didn't ace my AP exams. So the moral of the story here is you don't have to be perfect with your standardized test scores or your GPA, but you do have to be within the general range of what MIT is looking for. And hopefully that will be a stress reliever or a little bit of inspiration or motivation for most of you guys out there watching. The second perspective that I have for you is around athletics. So a fun fact for you, MIT is actually an athletic powerhouse. They have over 33 varsity sports teams. They've got 26 team national championships under their belt, and they have over 400 active or alum All-Americans. They are consistently some of the best athletic teams in their divisions, and it seems like MIT prides itself on having well-rounded students both in the classroom and on the field. One crazy fact that I read recently is that around 25% of students at MIT are on an athletic team for at least some portion of their college career. And I can honestly say in my experience that athletics helped me to get in, or my passion and ability at soccer helped me to get in. I was recruited and I was on the varsity soccer team for all 4 years. Granted, MIT doesn't seem to guarantee athletes acceptance, but here's what I saw from my time on the team to put it in perspective. Each year we would have around 30 to 50 athletic recruits or high school students that would come to do some sort of visit. And each year it seemed that around 10 of those kids would end up getting accepted. So that means that if you're one of the top sets of athletic recruits at MIT or being recruited by MIT, you could potentially have a much higher chance of getting accepted, to the order of 20 to 30% versus the 4.5% that's quoted on the website. The third perspective here is around state or national qualifications. So the idea here is that there are thousands and thousands of students out there doing cool things, applying, writing cool essays, etc. And it's very hard for the admissions counselors to compare student to student. So that's why, to the extent possible, I would recommend you go out and get some form of state or national recognition to help you explicitly qualify your skills or your abilities and help you stand out from all the other applicants out there. Really, you just want to make it as easy as possible for the admissions counselor to go and fight on your behalf to the admissions committee. For me, related to soccer, I was named First Team All-Ohio, Player of the Year in District, and a number of other accolades that helped qualify my ability and passion for the sport. And most of my friends at MIT also had similar levels of recognition or awards, ranging from science Olympiads to national violin recognition. And yes, the 6-time world champion yo-yoer. Again, the moral of the story here is to try to make it as easy as possible for the admissions team and try to get some form of qualification or recognition for your passions. The next perspective that I have for you is to remember to like and subscribe if you like this video. To be honest, I have no idea if that's actually going to help your application, but it's free and it'll make me smile. So thank you. The fourth perspective that I have is be yourself and chase after and do all the cool things that inspire you. In other words, follow your passions no matter how bananas they are, and just do your best to continue to grow and develop and be an interesting person. When I was in high school, and even still today, I was excited about and passionate about businesses and how they operate. And this manifested itself in two ways when I was younger. First, in manufacturing. So the idea of producing and selling goods that end up going out there and used in the world is so exciting. And in high school, I always had summer jobs, but toward the end of my time, I was able to work in a manufacturing facility, actually on the line of a manufacturing facility. It made hamburger buns for Wendy's to the tune of, we would make something like 4,000 tons of bread every 15 minutes. I was able to live and experience and optimize my passions and use that as fuel and content in my application. And just so as it happens today, I actually consult for some of the largest manufacturing organizations in the world. And second, I was very into real estate. And I was able to work with a real estate investment group on identifying an investment, supporting with the renovation, and ultimately selling the property for a strong return. The bottom line here is to be true to yourself and chase your dreams and passions and the things that excite you. Don't just do things because you think they look good on some application. The next perspective that I have has been called out numerous times on MIT blogs, and that is to just simply be a good person. It's pretty crazy how many times they call it out in their missions blogs, but it is so true. Literally everyone that I've met at MIT or related to MIT has been a truly great person all around. They've been kind, they've been willing to help, they've been collaborative, fun. I can't tell you how many times I've had friends come up to me from other schools and tell me how shocked they are at how welcoming and fun MIT students are. MIT admissions has a clear filtering process toward good people, and this will show through in your application, in your letters of rec, your interviews, etc. So if you want to get into MIT, I would highly recommend you try your best to be the best person that you can be, both to yourself and those around you. Sharing a little bonus guest speaker for you all right now. So my girlfriend Chloe also went to MIT, also accepted in MIT. She studied chemical engineering, or course 10, and she's going to share her quick perspective on how to get into MIT. And fun fact, she actually had a better GPA than I did at MIT, so her advice is potentially even better than mine.
Hey y'all, my name is Chloe and I was in the MIT class of 2022. My biggest piece of advice, if you are either applying to MIT or interested in applying to MIT, is to distinguish yourself on campus. I think the reason that I was admitted to MIT is that I had multiple people on campus that were able to write a letter for me to the admissions office. So what does this mean? What does this look like? For example, I reached out to the soccer coach and told him I was interested in playing on the varsity soccer team at MIT. And so he was able to write me a letter to the admissions office. I also did ROTC all 4 years while I was at MIT. And so the head officer of the ROTC department was able to write me a letter. And while this seems to be a little bit of a small thing, there are just so many competitive and wonderful and brilliant applicants applying to MIT. Really anything you can do to distinguish yourself, I think, goes such a long way.
The last perspective that I'll share is that college applications in a lot of ways are a crapshoot or a luck of the draw. You can do your best to increase your chances and improve your application through what we just talked through today. But at the end of the day, with a 4.5% acceptance rate and so many incredible applicants, nothing can ever be certain. That being said, if you're watching this video, I believe in you. I hope you get into MIT. And in the chance that you don't, you're still incredible. You still can do anything you set your mind to. I'm so excited to see what you go out in the world and do. As always, please like, comment, subscribe. And if you like this topic in general, please let me know in the comments below and I can continue to make more videos like this. Thanks, I believe in you, adios.